Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the 12-3 Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they still have a shot at getting the number 1 seed in the AFC, which would certainly help. It's not the end-all be-all, though. Still, nonetheless, just got to focus on the opponent at hand and finish off this season strong and continue riding the momentum. I would love to see Kansas City with 5 straight wins to end the season, and that's what I anticipate. Now, they play Denver this upcoming weekend, or tomorrow, actually. They're at home. Last time the Chiefs played Denver, they won 34-28 on the road, but Mahomes did throw for 3 interceptions. We did see him throw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not focusing on offense in today's video, but that's the one thing I'm looking out for against Denver is how, Patrick Mahomes rebound. I'm fully anticipating it, and I don't anticipate him to throw 3 picks. Defense, that's where I'm going to be looking at, because this team had 6 sacks against Denver just 3 weeks ago, and we've been talking about it week after week. This defense is getting better and better as time goes on. So welcome back to the channel. If you guys enjoy it, you want daily NFL content, weekly Chiefs content, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. I post a ton of Chiefs videos every single week. Appreciate you guys so much. Hope you have a happy new year. If you're going out tonight, hope you have a safe one and a fun one. If we could try and get this video to 1,000 likes to head into 2023, that would be absolutely awesome. But let's get into today's video. So we've been talking a lot about the defense for good reasons in the last several videos on this channel, and it's mainly because they rank 16th in the league. And I keep seeing people say like, oh, if they make the playoffs, they're going to be the worst defense out of all the playoff teams. It's fine. I'm not focused on stats in the slightest when I'm talking about this Chiefs defense. And I really think the one thing I want to see heading into the final regular season finale, I guess, but it's going to start tomorrow, is I want to see this defense continue to ramp up. I want to see them continue to elevate. We talked about how Justin Reid said, once the playoffs start, you're no longer a rookie. We know this Chiefs team has a lot of young cats on it, specifically on the defensive side, and you had a whole season, you had a whole regular season to adjust, to adapt, to get better, to get the experience, to get the reps. Once it's playoff time, and we got to make plays. So I loved that veteran leadership right there, and it's going to start to be like, man, I know the defensive ends, they have some issues. But for me, when I look at this defensive line, it gives me hope. It gives me full faith that this Chiefs defense, because we've said it time and time again, and we've really seen it the last several weeks, they're making plays and they're getting stops when they need to get stops. That's Steve Spagnuolo's recipe. That's his blueprint. It starts on the defensive line where the Chiefs have a bunch of playmakers. Chris Jones. He had a season-high 9 pressures last week against the Seattle Seahawks. He had a sack. He had 3 quarterback hits. Chris Jones is a beast. He's a superstar stud, right? He's got 12 sacks on the season. He has 2 forced fumbles. He's a playmaker. He's a guy you really want to see continue to just build and get that momentum, gain that momentum heading into the playoffs. So he's peaking at a perfect time. You also have rookie defensive end George Karlaftis. He's also gaining momentum. He had a sack in 4 of the last 5 games. He's looking a lot more comfortable. He's looking a lot more poised, and he's looking a lot more explosive. So that's what I'm saying, man. These rookies, they're starting to make an impact. A consistent impact, rather. George Karlaftis, he's a secret guy to have on your defensive end. All right? Now, each player on the defensive line for the Chiefs in the Week 14 game against Denver had a sack. They had 6 sacks in that game. The Broncos have allowed the NFL's most sacks. So that's what I want to see. I want to see them rush that passer. And the Broncos, it's a divisional game, right? So they're going to be playing very hard regardless. But they want nothing more after just firing their coach to take down the Kansas City Chiefs on the road and head into this offseason with some bright spots. So they're going to be playing desperate. They're going to be playing very hard against Kansas City. I've actually seen quite a few NFL analysts, not sure how much you want to put into that, but I've seen a lot of NFL analysts predict an upset with Denver winning that game. I wouldn't go as far to say as that, but it's something I just hope. I want to see essentially 4 great quarters, and we kind of saw that against Seattle. But it's something to note. It's just something to have in the back of your head. and Andy Reid knows this, the Kansas City Chiefs know this, but as a fan, it's important to note, like, all right, Denver's going to be throwing everything they have at you this upcoming weekend, so you got to be ready to play. You got to be ready to make sacks, rush that passer, rush Russell Wilson, and see what you can do. So Steve Spagnuolo, quote-unquote third down maestro, if you will. The defense is currently ranked 12th among NFL defenses in third down conversion rate. That's a very good number. Or it's a very solid number. 12th in the league. Now, what I think is interesting to note is this past week against Seattle, Geno Smith, comeback player of the year, good offense, great rush game, plenty of threats at the wide receiver position. They have a nice plethora of tight ends as well. Seattle went just 2 of 12 on third down. 2 of 12. All right. They also failed on 3 fourth down attempts. So that's what Steve Spagnuolo loves. Get the opposing quarterback, get the opposing team into uncomfortable third downs and force them to make a play, to be the hero and make a play for the entire game. So I really think this defense is going to continue to climb. I mean, they gave up 10 to Seattle, man. That's very impressive to me. It's 2023 in 6 hours, and you're giving up 10 points to a team. I think regardless of who you're playing, especially with Seattle, former playoff contender, I guess they're still in the playoff hunt, I view that as very respectable. We talked about a lot of Nick Bolton in our last video. A lot of you guys agreed with me because it just doesn't make any sense. This guy is having a phenomenal season. He's got 155 tackles on the year. He's got 2 sacks, a couple pass deflections, a bunch of tackles for loss. He has 2 interceptions. He has a forced fumble. Nick Bolton has been a menace, okay? And he's 22 years old. He's in his 2nd year. And for some reason, across the entire league, I don't see Nick Bolton's name anywhere. Anywhere. Willie Gay's back. Justin Reed has been such a nice addition to this defense. Carlos Dunlap's getting sacks. All right? They have plenty of playmakers. They have plenty of threats. You just got to continue to piece these pieces together. So, as cheesy as it sounds, defensively, I'm just focused on the defense these last 2 games because I want to see these young cats continue to gain momentum and just build up that confidence at the perfect time in the playoffs. I don't care about the stats, man. I don't care that they're ranked 16th in the league, as if that's bad. I mean, we know if Kansas City had a top 10 defense, this would be, they'd realistically be like a 15-win team every single year. It's exciting. It's exciting to think about if Kansas City had even like a top 5 elite defense. This team would be one of the best all time, honestly, just both sides of the ball. But they're not quite there yet. They did a great job rebuilding it, retweaking it, retooling it, whatever you want to say, this past offseason, and they're continuing to get better. And a lot of these young guys are starting to improve and make consistent, solid impacts. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the Kansas City Chiefs defense down below. Peace.